and welcome to the Cat Scrappiness channel. My name is Dalise, but you might know me as Stamper Girl. Today I am going to bring you an inline die cut technique and using the Have Faith Sentiment Shadow die cut. And I will be using the sketch from TSOT with permission of them. So thank you and join me. This card is also part of the quick card challenge that it's running in Cat Scrappiness blog. So the challenge is to follow the recipe to make a card. The recipe you need to start with some pattern paper for background. You need to make sure that you have a focal point. It could be a sentiment, it could be die cut, it could be a stamp. You need to use some shapes. I'm going to be using the circle die. And last but not least, add some bling to your card. So here I have a piece of a pattern paper from the Crafty Kawaka 6x6 premium pattern paper pad and the Have Faith shadow die cut. I am bringing a circle die cut and a little bit of washi to hold it in place. I did cut my piece to 5.5 by 4.25, which is an A2 size. And as soon as I cut it, I can flip it over and here is my card base. It's almost done. So again, I'm using the Have Faith shadow sentiment. If you have trouble getting these guys, you could also warm it up with your heat tool and they come out super easily. I am cutting it twice out of pretty thick white cardstock and I'm using my pokey tool to remove the insides of the A's and the E's. And then like I said, I cut it twice and I am going to just mount them one on top of the other just to have a little bit more of a substantial look in the card. I'm going to make my card base with a piece of cardstock that it is 5.5 by 8.5 and I am scoring and folding at 4.25 using my bone folders from Cat Scrappiness. And now I'm bringing my two pieces of the pattern paper from the Crafty Kawaka. And I realized that I actually think I want a frame around my pattern paper. So I am going to trim everything 1/4 of an inch off. So I'm going to end up with a panel that is 5.25 by 4. And I am just turning over my pattern paper and just adding some washi tape. And then now I can cut them out to the 5.25 by 4 size. And then I'm going to glue this to my card base, this card panel to my card base. This is using the sketch from TSOT number 645. Thank you so much for letting us use it. And I love how this looks. This is such a cute sketch. And I love how this pink backside of the pattern paper, it just works like a spotlight, which is perfect for the sentiment Have Faith. I'm going to glue my sentiment to the pink circle. And that was an oopsie. It's okay. It happens. I'm using liquid glue. I'm actually using Bearly Arts here. And you'll see me that after this, I will use Bearly Arts also to add my flowers and my bling to this card. I'm bringing in some paper flowers that I have in my stash that match pretty much the colors in this beautiful Crafty Kawaka paper. I just love it. And I'm just checking to see. I'm going to put a few layers of flowers and then adding some bling to cover my last part of the recipe challenge. I am super happy how this card turned out with the bling and the flowers, but I decided that I kind of feel like it's missing something. So I am going to bring the Flutter by stamp set from Cat Scrappiness. It's these fun 2 and up to 3 stamps butterflies. And I am actually stamping all of them, but I will only use the medium size, which is that second stamp that I put here, the medium size one. And I'll be using a very, very light pink, and then what I thought was going to be a fuchsia that turns out to be purple, which is totally fine. And I had to multiple times stamp this because it's very, very light pink. But these are super easy to line up. You will probably see me fussing around, and it's because I can't see with my camera the way it's set up, so you may see a little bit of my head in some of the takes. Here I am bringing the actual acetate that is the back of my stamp, and I am stamping to see if I like the positioning. This is a great way to see if your stamps are in the right position. If not, you can change them, clean up the acetate, and stamp it again until you are happy with them, like I am doing here with the little one. These beautiful butterflies have a coordinating die cut, which would have been super easy for cutting them down. But I don't have them, so I am going to fussy cut them. They are pretty easy to fussy cut. And here it is. And I am just going to be using, like I said, this medium size butterfly, and I'm leaving a little bit of like a white border like the die cut would do. After some decision making, I decided to go with the butterfly right about in the middle behind my flowers. And I am coming with some stickles and just adding little bits of bling to the dots on the image. And I love how it turned out. It really turned out super, super cute. Here is the final card. Super glittery, super sparkly, and a super easy card. Let us know if you give this inline die cut technique a try, and remember to join us in our quick card challenge blog.